Welcome to the Five Towns Jewish Times podcast, bringing you the latest stories, insights, and conversations that matter most to you and your community. Here is your host, Larry Gordon.
Okay, hi everyone, Larry Gordon here. I'm Heard in the Bagel Store audio-video version, which became internationally famous, Baruch Hashem, through the Five Towns Jewish Times. This is a special week in Chabad because it is the very popular Kinus Hashluchim, which breaks records, in terms of attendance, and really is the realization and like a material manifestation of the Rebbe's dream of having his emissaries and shluchim all over the world. And I was thinking, who can I call to have on a program the day that the Kinus starts, which is today. So I thought of the person that I think lives as far away from me as possible, and I I landed on Rabbi Yossy Gordon, who happens to be my first cousin. My father and
Goldman.
my father, full disclosure, my father and Yossi's mother were brother and sister, and they came to the United States from a shtetl called Duckshitz in 1934, I believe. But that's not the real story. The story is the Kinus Hashluchim, which gets underway today, Wednesday, I think it's November 12th. So it's something you just flew 15 hours. You told me you flew 15 hours through the night. First of all,
Non-stop Johannesburg to Newark. Over
but
15 hours.
it wasn't always, you're there a half a century in Johannesburg. It wasn't always so easy to get to New York, was it?
March will be 50 years, and when we came, there were no direct flights. You had to go via Europe. We often came via Israel.
So I don't know, they usually took 24 hours to get to New York.
It could take something like that, yeah, or more. It was a bit.
So you're one of the senior rabbis in the mechanism that is Chabad, Worldwide Chabad Lubavitch, I guess.
I'm one of the first shluchim to South Africa, and I'm a senior rabbi in South Africa. I was the rabbi of the largest Orthodox shul, the Sydenham Shul, for 35 years. Today I'm life rabbi emeritus, and I'm also the president of the South African Rabbinical Association. And I still keep myself busy. I don't.
So tell me about how it came about that you were chosen by the Rebbe, so to speak, or by the mechanism that does the selection 50 years ago. You're called into the office where you told you're going to Johannesburg, or they gave you a difference. They gave you a choice between Johannesburg and Springfield, New Jersey. What was it? How did that work? Do you remember?
Of course, I remember. So there were different periods. In the very early years, when Shlichus was first starting, the Rebbe actually approached certain individuals and said, "I'd like you to go to here or there or the other place." When I went out, it was 1976, and in those days, the way it worked was if you wanted to sign up to join the Rebbe's army of Shluchim, you wrote a note to the Rebbe with your options, and if you were lucky enough, the Rebbe gave you a very clear direction. And thank God we were fortunate. I had, Baruch Hashem, many offers in America and other parts of the world, but I had a friend, Rabbi Mendel Lipsker, who preceded me to Johannesburg and was begging me for a long time to join him, and said, please just mention Johannesburg as one of the options when you write to the Rebbe, which I did. And with one stroke of the pencil, the Rebbe underlined the word Johannesburg. And that was my sole mission. And I was fortunate and blessed to get a clear directive from the Rebbe that this is my shlichus for life. This is my mission in life. And as I say, March will be 50 years. And Baruch Hashem, we've never looked back.
What was the second and third choice on your list, if you don't mind me asking, if you remember?
I had my eyes on St. Louis, actually.
Oh, really?
Which was then the biggest city in America that did not yet have a Chabad office, and I wanted to go to a big city.
It was the only city in America that had a chief rabbi for a very long time.
Well, Yeah, Rabbi Rifkin.
Remember that? That's
Rabbi
right.
Rifkin.
Remember, I met him. I met him there once because I had a
I
uh,
remember him, and I remember the late father, the Rosh Yeshiva. Rosh
Rabbi Shalom
Yeshiva, Rosh
Dober,
Yeshiva in Torah Vodaas.
Shalom Dober today, right?
No.
No,
Shalom Rifkin. I don't think he was Shalom Dober. I'm not sure. Maybe he
no,
was not. He was
no.
not a
He blew
Shalom. I'm not
shofar.
sure if he had the name Dober.
He
And
blew shofar up at the Friedrich Rebbe's Minyan up on the second floor of
his
770,
father
right?
blew shofar there, and your father, Ova Shalom, was the Bal Musaf. And
Right. That's where I,
I often popped in there as a kid.
that's where I knew him from. That's where I knew him from. So so Johannesburg, you came there at the behest and the coaxing of your friend, but South Africa has gone through a lot of changes over the years. How did that impact on Jewish life?
So when we came back in 1976, the Jews of South Africa told us we're mishuga for coming here. We're all leaving, they said.
Oh, really?
Are
Uh-huh.
you crazy? We're facing a bloody, violent revolution, uh, which was definitely a threat, as happened in many African countries, where the local
Right.
population overthrew the imperialist
Mm-hmm.
colonizers,
Right.
and many of them were very bloody indeed. And that's what people were afraid of, that there would be a similar bloody revolution in in South Africa. But the Rebbe was sending people there, and he sent us,
So,
and he sent
yeah.
and there were others who came with us, and others who came after us. And the Rebbe was very clear that there's nothing to fear. He gave us assurances, reassurances, not just brachas,
Mm-hmm.
assurances and reassurances that all would be good in South
Mm-hmm.
Africa for the Jewish community
Mm-hmm.
until the coming of
Mm-hmm.
Mashiach.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's what he said.
That's what he said, unquote.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
So,
and that has inspired not only us but the community. And the Rebbe was a household name in South Africa, and even people who were not from said they'll stay in South
mm-hmm.
Africa because the Rebbe said it'll be okay.
So what's the population like? What was it when you got there? What's it like
So
today?
the fact is that we have unfortunately lost a huge chunk of our community. In its heyday, there were 120,000 Jews in South Africa. Today, we're
Mm-hmm.
maybe at half. And
Mm-hmm.
there were Jewish communities throughout the whole country and small country communities. Today, it's pretty much a tale of two cities, Johannesburg and Cape Town, with small community in Pretoria, Durban, but mainly Johannesburg and Cape Town. Johannesburg being larger, more vibrant, more Jewish. Cape Town is smaller, but Baruch Hashem, seeing a lot of growth in Yiddishkeit. A great team of young rabbis and rebbitzins, shluchim and shluchos, are helping raise Cape Town to new heights, including some of our own children, which we're very proud of. And
But
so we
the young
just
people,
so we've lost in quantity, but we've
yeah,
become
yeah.
much more Jewish and vibrant in quality.
So, but to the young people, once they get old enough, and or they marry, or they go into business or university, they don't stay, or they do stay, or they come back after their education. What's the general custom?
Ye-
What's the rule?
Yesh v'yesh. There's no rule. There are families who are blessed to have older children and grandchildren with them in South Africa. Most probably have children overseas, United States, Canada, Australia, England, Israel. In recent years, has been the most popular destination.
Hmm.
So South Africans are represented around the world.
So the people that choose to stay, is it primarily for business reasons?
That's one reason, but it's also a very beautiful community. It's a beautiful country. The people are very nice. We unfortunately have a government in power that the leading party is the African National Congress, the ANC, which has
Yeah, I
in
saw
recent
some.
years
I, s-
become very anti-Israel and led the genocide
I
case in the
saw
ICJ.
I saw some of those videos. They look pretty scary.
But in general, it's a beautiful country, and the government does not speak for the population. The average, we have probably less anti-Semitism in South Africa than in any organized Jewish community around the world.
Including New York, probably.
Yeah, well, I don't even know the mayor.
We have a mayor in New York City that could be he has credentials. He could be the president of South Africa.
He's only the mayor elect. Don't make it worse than it is.
That's right. He's the mayor elect, but listen. He's from Uganda. You know, there's talk about whether he.
I was asked to give a talk here. It's called "Jews Don't Run" from New York or from South Africa. So
Okay.
I'm going to be drawing parallels between what's going on in New York today and sharing the history of South Africa, where those who stayed have not regretted it. And
I listen. I lived through a time when Jews ran from Crown Heights. Didn't have to be from the other side of the world. You know, once upon a time, that's what Jews did. They ran.
and in
So you're here for the. We only have a couple of minutes left, so let me just say that you're here for the Kinus, and you flew 15 hours, to get here. That's a long flight. And what do you look forward to mostly when you come to the Kinus Hashluchim?
So everybody needs a re-injection and a dose of inspiration on a regular basis. And for me, this is my annual shot in the arm, and to really reconnect with what it's all about, and the Rebbe's vision, and part of the global mission to bring the Jewish world to fruition and to bring Mashiach. And of course, to see friends who one doesn't see on a regular basis. And at my stage of life, I'm now, I give the talks and I give the workshops. I've done a lot of that over the last years. So for the young rabbis, the young shluchim, there's a lot of education, a lot of workshops, a lot of good sessions where they can get a lot of experience. Practical rabbinics and pastoral and how to not neglect their own children on Shlichus in Timbuktu where there's no chinuch, and thank God for Chabad online schools many of my grandchildren are getting educated and getting an outstanding education. I can't believe how much my grandchildren in Hawaii, on the island of Kauai, know in Torah to rival any kid in the best day school.
Yeah, really, that's fantastic. That's fantastic insight. Now you never had. I know the Rebbe sent you there with tremendous bracha and guarantees that it's going to remain, like you said, safe, and you'll have plenty of work there. But 50 years is a long time, Or anyway, it used to be a long time. It's not so long anymore. But you never had any second thoughts about maybe you should have gone to St. Louis?
Not even a half a second thought.
Well, I understand not going to St. Louis. That I
I have
understand.
nothing against St. Louis, but South Africa is a unique Jewish community.
I
It
hear
is
that.
very warmly traditional. Even Jews who are not from go to shul on Shabbos. Even Jews who are not from keep kosher. Um, you know, even Jews who don't keep kosher wouldn't dream of eating pork. 90% fast on Yom Kippur, 90% attend the Pesach Seder. There are, it's really the statistics are the highest in the world.
Uh,
And I think
do
the only community that comes close is Panama in terms of
you
traditionalism.
have, do you have kosher restaurants in
We have kosher
Johannesburg?
restaurants. We're still waiting for you to come and visit, and we'll take you out to nice kosher
Yes.
restaurants, milk and meat.
Oh, really? All right.
Johannesburg has a few dozen eateries. Cape Town has less, but they also have. And
And Mitzvah Shem, hopefully it's coming summer. we're going to put South Africa on our itinerary for the summer, God willing. So, as your kosher pizza store, that's very much
More, more,
of a dividing.
we actually don't have dedicated pizza stores, but quite a few of the restaurants
Yeah, you have
are
gourmet,
big on pizza.
you have gourmet pizza. That's what generally is what differentiates a community that has made it versus one that I was once years ago, about 20 years ago, I was in Denver, Colorado for a wedding. So I went into the kosher pizza store. I was with my kids. I said, "We'd like a whole pie." So it was 12:30. The guy said, "Okay, can you come back at 2:30?" It take 2 hours. I was there to stroll for parts of Sukkot, and I had a sore throat after the yontif, so I went to one of these urgent cares in Yerushalayim. It's called Terem 24. The doctor took a swab of my throat. I haven't had someone swab my throat in about 40 years. And so I said, "How should I wait for the results?" He goes, "No, the results takes 3 days to get the results for a strep throat." Here in America, maybe probably any civilized country, you can get the results in 5 minutes, generally speaking. But in this particular urgent care in Yerushalayim, they needed 3 days. You know what? I started feeling better.
There's different degrees of urgency, you know.
I never bothered calling them
In
back.
Israel, in Israel, they said it's not so urgent.
I never called them back to find out if I had a bad throat. So maybe they're expecting a call from me. Yossi, it's great to speak to you, and enjoy the
Now, listen,
Kinus. And
the main question is, do I get a bagel?
oh, do you get it? We could arrange for that. We could arrange for that.
I believe this is a bagel store conversation.
This is a bagel store conversation. It will take us another half hour to explain the importance of bagel in Jewish life and why it's called
It'll
herd.
take me 3 days to get a
Why
bagel like a swab, eh?
uh, why it's
Okay.
called herd in the bagel store? But bagels play an essential part in Jewish life. I don't know about in South Africa, but certainly in New York, certainly in the United States of
We
America.
have a great bagel store in Johannesburg.
Somehow, no matter where you are, when you're driving around, if you see the word bagel, you get drawn to it. It may not be kosher. They may sell ham, they may sell pork on bagels, but
We have a strictly kosher bagel store, which is bagels are world class.
I'm very excited about that. And I look forward to it. And thanks for joining us. Enjoy the Guinness, and we'll talk soon, I hope.
God bless you. Nice
All
to
the
see you.
best.